Welcome on Smartness TV. Today we are going to study mathematics and we are going to study the fraction. What is fraction? Which are important of knowing fraction. I'm sure for that at the end of this lesson, everybody following Smartness TV will be able to understand what is fraction and which are important of knowing fraction. Thank you very much. Hello again, and I'll show you. Look at here. What am I having? I have potato. I have potato. How many potatoes do I have? I have one potato. One potato. The whole number of potato is 1. Okay, good. I'm going to show you again. What am I having here? Look at here. I have orange. This is orange. Orange. Good. How many orange do I have? I have one orange. I have one orange. The number of orange is 1. That say the whole number is 1 orange. Good. Okay. Look at here again. Am I having in my hands? This is a soap. How many soap do I have? 1 soap. The whole number of soap is 1. Okay, good. Now, with my potato, I'm going to share this potato. I'm going to share in party this potato. Good. Okay, good. My potato, I divide into 2 parts. This is a whole potato. The whole number of potato is 1 potato. I divide in 2 parts. How many parts of this potato is 2 parts? Like this. I divide in 2 parts. I have 1 potato, but I divide it in 2 parts. Like here, I have 1 potato. This is a whole. And I divide it in 2 parts. That to say, I have this part and this. And it's written like this. All the number of the parts you have is 2 parts. All the number is 2 parts. And this 2 parts, this is my potato, and you have 2 parts among 2 parts. This is 2 parts among 2 parts. 1, 2 is 2 parts among 2 parts. Like this. And it's written like this, 2 over 2. And this 2, when I take the whole and I divide in the parts, is what we call fraction. is what we call fraction. A fraction is a part of a whole. The reason why here I have two parts, 1, 2, 2 among two parts. A fraction is a part of a whole, 2 over 2. And these two, the variable parts, is called denominator. 2 is denominator. Denominator. And this again is called numerator. 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 Okay. I take again my potato and I divide into 4 parts. This is, I divide in 2 parts and I divide again in 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of a variable parts is 4. The number of a variable parts is 4. And the number of a variable parts is what you call in fraction denominator. Denominator. That's say here denominator is 4. And the number of the taken parts in a variable parts is called numerator. That's say if I take this, the 1 in 4 parts. That is say 1 is numerator and the 4 parts is denominator. Let me show you here. I'm going to take the 1 part. 1. How many variable parts here? 1, 2, 3, 4. A variable parts is denominator is 4. We count 1, 2, 3, 4. And the number of the taken parts in a variable parts is called numerator. I take this only. That say 1 is numerator and 4 is denominator. And in fraction, this line is called fraction bar. Fraction bar. Numerator and denominator. Remember this, a fraction is a part of whole. The whole number was this potato. And we cut in a fraction. First time we have 2 parts among 2 parts. The variable part here is 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. This is denominator. And here I take 2 parts in 2 parts. This is numerator. 2 over 2. Denominator. I continue again. In our potato here, you can tell me When I take 3 parts like this, I take 3 parts, but first you have to know how many parts are available here. How many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I repeat again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The available parts is 8. And the available parts in fraction means denominator. First here, denominator is 8. How many parts am I taking here in these 8 parts? I'm taking 3 parts. 3 is the number of parts taken in available parts. The available part is 8, and I take 3 parts. And this is numerator and this is denominator. Numerator and this is denominator. Numerator and denominator. Okay. I'm going to show you here again with my orange. This is the whole orange. I'm going to share my orange among 4 parts. This is the whole orange. Do you see? The whole orange. And I'm going to share in 4 parts. Yes. The available parts is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. The available parts is 4. And I'm going to take 1. When I take 1 in 4 parts, the 1 represents the numerator, and the 4 parts represents the denominator. Good. Here also I have a soap. This is a whole soap. And I'm going to divide this soap in 4 parts. Like this. Here, I cut here, here again, and here. The available parts are 4 parts. And I'm going to take 1 among 4 parts. First, 4 parts is denominator in our fraction, and 1 part represents the taken parts among how many parts are available. I take 1. I take 1. This is numerator, and the number of available parts are 4. Numerator is 1, and the available parts is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's written like this. It's written like this. I take 1, and the available parts are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That say this is denominator and this is numerator in our fraction. And it's written in a figure like this, 1/4. Good. You have to memorize this. A fraction do you see here? A fraction is a part of a whole. A fraction is a part of a whole. Each fraction is composed by 2 parts, numerator and denominator. Numerator and denominator. Numerator is the taken parts in the available parts. The taken parts in available parts. Denominator means the number of available parts. The number of available parts divided into the whole. Importance of fraction. Why do we study fraction? Fraction help people to share the things equally or unequally. The importance is to help the people to share the different thing can be equally or unequally. And when we're reading fraction, we start from the number of numerator, then end with denominator. When reading fraction, start from the numerator, then end with denominator. Start from the numerator, then end by denominator. Okay, here I have some exercise and we are going to correct together. Check the fraction. Here I have this 2/4. You are going to represent to shade which fraction you can shade here. First you have to think how many parts. How many parts of numerator? Because numerator means the number of taken parts in available parts. Here the number of taken parts is 2. And all available parts are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is denominator 4, and we are going to shade 2 to represent 2 parts. Good. And you are going to collect number B. You are going to shade 7/8. 7/8. First you have to think which are the number available. The available number are 8. Follow please. The available number are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is denominator. And which are the number of taken number in available parts? The taken parts are 7. I'm going to shade 7 parts. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That says shaded 7 over 8. Okay, here we are going to shade 1 over 4. The available parts is 4. 4 represents the available parts, and that means 4 is the denominator. And I take 1 in 4 parts. That says I'm going to shade 1. Good. And here I'm going to shade 4 parts over 4 parts. Here is 4 over 4. And when numerator equal with denominator, that say is a whole. I take all potato is a whole. Okay, stay there. I'm going to give you other exercise. Here I have tomato paste. How many tomato paste I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now 6 represents all available parts I have. That to say, 6 is numerator or denominator? Tell me. Denominator. Good. I have 6 parts. And I'm going to take 1 in 6 parts. This one represents what? Represents numerator. Because all number of tomato parts are 6. I take 1 in 6 parts. This is numerator and this is denominator. Good. And here again, I have, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All number of available parts is 8. A variable part is 8. That says this is denominator. 8 is denominator. And I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 parts and all available parts are 8. All available parts represents denominator, and I take 4. 4 represents numerator. And is written like this: 4 over 8. Good. And here, look here, write the fraction shaded. Write the fraction shaded. When they ask you to write the fraction shaded, first you have to think about how many parts do I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That say denominator is 5. And how many parts are taken in 5 parts? How many parts? 2. 1, 2. Immediately, the fraction is this. 2 over 5. But the next time, I will help you to know how to read fraction. And here, write the fraction shaded. How many parts are available in this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Available parts are 4. This is denominator, 4. And how many parts are shaded? Is 1. 1 is denominator. 1 over 4. This one is numerator because it's the parts taken in available parts. And 4 is denominator because it's the number of available parts. The next time we'll study how to read fraction, how to add, how to compare fraction, and how to subtract fraction. On Smartness TV, you will know and you will practice fraction. I think everybody here is good, and I think you have understand fraction, numerator, denominator, and fraction bar. Don't forget subscription.